Welcome back, Half Hunters. Hopefully, you're having a very magnificent Monday and you had a wonderful weekend. All right. So, as far as what we got going on today, we got some pretty good bearishness coming in on the market today. And we'll track down and see where it is coming from. But we did have a pretty good gap down on the market to start the week. So I will be interested to see if we have rollover activity as we go into the middle part of the week, second half of the week, because that definitely won't be looking good, especially when we look at a daily. We did gap down about 0.8% there. You can see basically the daily lows are right there in kind of beginning part of the day. Nice little run there the first 30 minutes. Second 30 minutes, like nice little pullback. And then really here the past 30 minutes, we were running pretty good until about the past 10 minutes or so. Nice little pullback. So we'll see what kind of happens. I would think we probably trend higher. That's just kind of my expectation, my thinking. Qs, yeah, talking about something that got hit. This is where it got hit. Qs gap down roughly 1.2%. Ouch. Yeah, that's where a lot of the bearishness is coming from. You can see bounced 30 minutes, rolled over 30 minutes, and then past 30 minutes tried to run. That's where a lot of the run was over the past 30 minutes, but not holding strong. Currently down about 1%. SPY's currently down about 0.5%. IWM, yeah, it kind of looks like a double top here over so far on the day. We'll see if we roll over. I don't think we do. Currently down about 0.75%. Nice little gap down there as well on the IWM. A little bit of a gap down here on the DIA. Not a crazy one, but you can see how strong it was on the open. Actually got positive there in the first 5 minutes, right out the gate. So nice little move higher. First 30 minutes kind of just hung out there. Pretty much over the past hour, haven't really done a whole lot. And that's kind of where we sit. Currently up about 0.4%. RSP did gap down pretty good as well. You can see over the past, or the first hour or so of the trading day, made a run basically the past 15 minutes or so, kind of hit the daily highs, and it's pulled back a little bit, but kind of towards the daily highs. So not looking horrible there on the RSP. Currently up 0.15%. If we take a look at the daily kind of picture, this was kind of that spot where you got on that RSP where it's like, yeah, you're just kind of in the middle of nowhere here. I mean, unless you're looking at some previous technical levels, but you had these double tops back here from back in the summer, back in July, and it basically kind of wound up being about where that 200 moving average is. So it makes sense that you were gonna get a lot more orders probably stacked in there just from the various different reasons. Some people buy off the 200, some people buy off pivot levels. So gonna make sense that you're gonna probably just get more orders to kind of come in that level. And there you go. Anyways, RSP not looking horrible. Obviously, you definitely want to see it continue higher because we roll over from here. Ooh, especially with how we'll look at SPY and Qs, man. I mean, this thing could definitely be breaking that 200, and then we're looking at some much lower levels. As far as the DIA, yeah, this one's kind of a tricky one. Obviously, we had this consolidation area back over in September, beginning of October, and got this little pivot level here as well back in the beginning of November. So all that right there is basically where we are. We're in between the moving averages. So let me see. Are we hitting anything on a weekly? No, we're in between it on the weekly moving averages as well. So yeah, it's just kind of an interesting spot there for the DIA. But I mean, we bounced there before. We could definitely bounce there again. IWM hitting right into that 200 moving average today. We tried to bounce kind of off of it Friday, but it's kind of where these pivot levels are. These 200 moving averages are. Okay. Qs was moving down to the, I guess this pivot level we kind of have back here from July. That's about all I got. I mean, we got a little bit of a pullback into that previous high spot here when we kind of had a breakout there in November, pulled back there and moved higher. That's kind of where we are again. It's also where the 100 moving average is. Not quite to that 100 moving average, but yeah, it's an interesting pivot levels there. And then the SPY, interesting one here about the SPY is we actually filled this gap finally. back on November 5th today. So, yeah, we did fill that gap and trying to get to that 100. I don't think we will. I think we will probably wind up bouncing now. We kind of talked about that on Friday and the market outlook that, this could have been across a lot of these markets, that A, B, C, D, E type of kind of correction, consolidation. And so it very much could be that we've barely taken out some of these previous lows, and it is what it is. Usually when you get like barely that wick or barely a break below that A, it's very not to say it's like a guarantee, but it's a pretty good possibility that then you'll go down and barely take out the previous low, which would be that C wave, right? So the C barely took out the A, made a pretty good bounce, but the problem is D, the D wave never made it above B, so therefore it sets up the pretty good possibility you're going to come down to take out the C for the E. And it's not to say, that, oh man, I'll be looking to play the possibility of being bearish up here around the B pivot level next time this D forms and go down to the E. These are kind of rare. They don't happen all that often. They're more like to freak people out kind of things. So whenever you try to play these ABCs and you get bullish off the C wave, you're gonna have a little bit of a stop loss, a little bit of a possible buffer here for the simple fact that if you come down and make that E, it could be just one that this allows you to lower your cost of entry, buy the dip a little bit more, that kind of stuff. So I will be very interested though to see just how this winds up playing. Do we roll down by the end of the day today? Because we are breaking through some of these moving average type levels, and we're in that area you see here on the SPY. We got a pretty large gap here, or air pocket here, and the Qs hasn't gotten down to its 100 moving average yet, but it is down pretty good amount today. So yeah, if and that's kind of the thing, is it had a pretty good air pocket in between that 50 and the 100 here as well. So all that being said, I think I'd rather just be a little bit bullish here for now. Still, I get it. It's never comfortable, but that's just kind of the way I kind of look at it right now. VIX moved higher. Obviously, we gapped up. VIX opened higher. Okay. This is also kind of where we topped out several times over the previous few months. 3 times back in September, October, and November was basically roughly about the high of today. I mean, it's possible maybe it goes a little bit higher. The thing that'll be, actually, let me go back to the VIX. The thing that'll be interesting to see is if we continue to move a little bit lower on the market and maybe we kind of just hang out and go sideways. So if we start to do that, I'd be very cautious. Maybe even look to just say flip some positions. So if the VIX isn't doing much, it's kind of like pulling back a little bit or just going sideways, and you start to see the markets breaking down, like it is trending a little bit lower right now, I would be looking to be flipping some positions, maybe go a little bit bearish until you see that VIX spike and people start to respect some bearish activity. That'd be my mindset. So yeah, a lot of things kind of go on in those pullbacks. DXY though, dollar looking pretty strong, continuing higher. Again, getting back up to some of those highs that we put in over the past 2 years. So there you go. GLD Gold Trust finally pulling back a little bit. It was looking really good there on Friday. Still above the moving averages, so it could just be a quick pullback. Have to wait and see. 10-year yield, man, that looks pretty good. Nice little gap up, nice little lower wick. Ooh, that yield looks really solid. Yeah, I mean, it's going to hold over this high again. So yield's probably going higher. Let me just check and see what the 2-year. 2-year moved up pretty good there on Friday. Kind of just hanging out today, not really doing a whole lot. What about the 30-year? Yeah, 30-year capped up there on the yields. It's slowly creeping up to its high from about 1.25 years ago. Okay. HYG pulling back a little bit. Nothing crazy, trying to bounce off that 200 moving average. We've already bounced off that 200 moving average before, so most likely that's not going to hold this time. Doesn't mean it's going to go slice right through it today or tomorrow or Wednesday. It might just kind of hang out, but might just slowly chop through it. LQD, yep, making its way down to the lows that was put in back in April of last year. Okay. TLT is definitely moving a little bit lower today, even though it gapped up a little bit. And it is moving down to the lows that were put in back about a year and a quarter ago. So, okay. And as far as sector rotation for the day, energies leading the way. Materials doing pretty good. Healthcare, industrials, financials, real estate, staples, all doing pretty well. Communications, discretionaries, still outperforming there a little bit. Underperformers, big one. Tech underperforming. Utilities also underperforming there for the day. As far as intraday price action, you see utilities kind of just fading there the whole day. Jeez. So yeah, utilities not doing all that great during the day. It's probably a big reason why they're down on the day total. Tech underperforming, staples underperforming, real estate's kind of in line with the market there. Communications, discretionaries, healthcare, financials outperforming there a little bit. Industrials doing pretty good. Materials and energies the higher end of the day. So interesting look at some rotation there.